recipe is our scrambled egg cups. Now for this recipe you need 1 cup of cheese, 12 eggs or a dozen eggs, and 1 cup of ham. Now I didn't have ham, so I had to use sausage, which works out just fine. It's all pre-cooked, ready to go. And then a little bit of salt and pepper to taste. Now you're going to crack all 12 eggs into the bowl, whisk them all together. Then you're going to add a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper on top, and then go ahead and add your ham or your sausage, mix it up a little bit, and you're ready to go. Now I'm using a 1/4 measuring cup to just dump it right into a mini muffin pan. Next, go ahead and just sprinkle your favorite cheese on top. Preheat your oven to 350 degrees. Put the muffin tin right into it. You're going to cook this for about 20 minutes. When it's all done, they'll be a little bit poofy, which I like that word, poofy. Then you can just pull them out and cut them up, and they are ready to go for breakfast. So here's what you need. You need 2 tablespoons of normal yogurt. Then I like to add sweetened condensed milk, so I'm adding 14 ounces of sweetened condensed milk. You don't have to add this. You can just do yogurt and milk if you want, but it gives it a little more flavor. Then we're using Fairlife whole extra filtered milk. The extra filtered is very important, and this is a 1/2 gallon. Then you need an Instant Pot that has a yogurt function. And that's it. That's all you need for this recipe. So first I'm going to pour a little bit of milk in, maybe about a 1/2 cup of milk, and then I'm going to put my sweetened condensed milk right on top of it. Now you want to get a whisk and you want to mix this in really well. It's really thick, so the better you whisk, the better it will be. So once it's all mixed in, it's time to add the rest of your milk. So go ahead and just pour it all in. Next, you're going to add 2 tablespoons of just normal yogurt. It's the plain kind. It's not vanilla. It's no flavors, just the plain yogurt. And 2 tablespoons. All right, those are all your ingredients. Now it's just time to whisk it all together. Now you want to make sure you get the yogurt chunks because you don't want big chunks in your yogurt while it cooks. You want it completely smooth. Now, you can put your Instant Pot lid on it, take the sealing lid off, or I just put a plate on top of my Instant Pot. So now you're going to push the yogurt button. You want to make sure that when you push the yogurt button, you want normal. You don't want less, you don't want more, you just want normal pressure. You want this to cook for the 8 hours. So if the 8 hours shows up on your Instant Pot, you are correct. Then it will actually start counting up instead of counting down when using the yogurt function. Now when it's all done, it will say yogurt. That means it's time to take your plate or lid off and see how it is. Now this is still really hot, but I just want to show you the texture of it. This is thick and creamy and perfect. So I'm going to put a paper towel on top and then just any type of lid or saran wrap or anything like that so it can store in your fridge. Now I stored mine overnight, and in the morning I woke up, I actually had to flip my lid so it would fit in the fridge, but took off my paper towel so it can get all of the moisture, and it is perfectly cold, delicious yogurt. Now right now this yogurt is really, really thick, but the more that you play with it and stir it around, it will break up the proteins and it will be able to be a lot more smooth. Today I'm just serving mine with a little bit of granola and a few blueberries on top. I like to use the fresh blueberries, but if I run out, then I like to use frozen. Our next 3-ingredient main dish is Dr. Pepper pulled pork. You need 12 ounces of Dr. Pepper, a jar of your favorite barbecue sauce, and a 3-pound pork roast. And just a little salt and pepper to taste. Go ahead and put your roast in the bottom of an Instant Pot. You're going to add a little bit of salt and pepper on top just to give it a little bit of flavoring. Then on top of that, you're going to add 12 ounces of Dr. Pepper. I'm kind of just eyeballing it because you don't have to get it exact. You just need somewhere around a can or 12 ounces. And go ahead and dump on a whole jar of your favorite barbecue sauce. Go ahead and put the lid on. Make sure that the lid is on nice and secure. If you have a little knob, make sure you turn it to sealing. And I am going to cook this for about 1 hour and 30 minutes because it is so big and a little frozen inside. Yes, we want to make sure it's cooked. When it's all done cooking, you can release the pressure and go ahead and take the lid off. Now you can serve this on buns or even on top of salad. However you like to serve it, it's going to taste amazing. Now the side dish for this one is our 3-ingredient avocado salad. I love this because you just need 2 avocados, a little bit of little tomatoes, and then a jar of artichokes. Go ahead and chop up your tomatoes. I like to make them into small bite-sized pieces. Then go ahead and dump those into your serving bowl. Next, we're going to cut up the avocados. I also like to cut these into small bite-sized pieces because you don't want a huge bite of avocado and nothing else. Next, we're going to chop up some artichokes, depending on how many you like. This is a large jar of artichokes. I'm cutting up about half of them. Now for a little bit more flavor, I like to add a little bit of the liquid that artichokes were sitting in and then just mix it up. This recipe is my go-to side dish. The next recipe I'm making is Instant Pot ribs. Now don't be intimidated by these, they really are so easy. So first I'm gonna add a lot of salt on top of my ribs and then a little bit of pepper. Next you're gonna grab some apple juice and pour about 1 cup to 1.5 cups into your pot. Now this is your liquid, so you'll be able to get the pressure. Now my Instant Pot is a 6-quart and the ribs I'm using are beef ribs, so they're actually a lot bigger. But if you're using pork ribs, you can put them in your Instant Pot just like this in any size of Instant Pot. But because my ribs are so big, they don't fit that way, so I'm going to show you how I put them in. So first you're just going to cut them right down the middle. Try not to cut the bone and try and make the meat as even on both sides if you can. As soon as you're done cutting them, you're going to put them inside the Instant Pot, one on top of the other. Then put on your lid, make sure you seal it tight, and always make sure it's on sealing so it'll work. Then you're going to press your meat stew button and go all the way down to 25. Now I let this recipe do a slow release, meaning I let it release on its own. So now I'm just going to check, yep, there's no pressure, so I'm going to open it up. And the smell of these things are amazing. So I'm going to take some tongs, pull them out, and put them on a lined cookie sheet. I lined it with foil, so my cleanup is going to be a breeze. Before your Instant Pot is done cooking, go ahead and preheat your oven to broil. So it'll be about 550 degrees or broil. Now before we broil these, we're going to spread some barbecue sauce on them so they'll be caramelized, I guess, in barbecue sauce. So I just did a few squirts of barbecue sauce. You can use any kind of barbecue sauce you like, and then I just spread it around so it will be pretty even on each rib. Then when you're done, stick them in the broiler for about 2 to 4 minutes. You need to watch it so it doesn't burn your ribs. Now instead of just dumping this applesauce, I'm going to put some potatoes in it because I'm going to have mashed potatoes with my ribs. This is totally optional, but I'm all about easy side dishes. When you have your potatoes in, you're just going to turn it, make sure it's sealed, then you'll push manual. You're going to go up to 15 minutes. While those are cooking, my ribs are done and they look amazing.